But when you talk about the kids from Israel Tennis and Education Centers who get to travel the world a bit and get some opportunities through this program, how do you think it affects and enriches their lives?
I think it's a wonderful experience for the kids, something that there's no price tag on. For them to be able to come over to the United States or other parts of the world to see some countries that they normally wouldn't be able to see due to these Israel Tennis and Educational Centers is something that they'll have for a lifetime. You know, the experiences and the people they'll meet, and just, you know, what I always notice about these kids is they're all happy, they're all respectful, they're all kind. They meet all kinds of different walks of life of people with a lot of money at these clubs, and I just feel like they conduct themselves with the utmost respect and are just really grateful to be here. And I think, you know, being able to travel the world like that at such a young age, whether you're, sometimes there's 8-year-olds, sometimes there's 18-year-olds, they realize, you know, just the magnitude of what it is being part of these centers and feeling like a home away from home, so to speak, that they're a part of something special, and I think that really can help kids.
How much engagement do you see from the members of the club, St. Andrews, when the kids come? Do they really get excited to see these kids on the court?
Yes, I think here at St. Andrews, it's been amazing how the people have supported the Israel Tennis and Educational Centers. They ask me all the time, when is the next one going to be? When are you going to play an exhibition? Who's coming? How many kids? They're really engaged and thrilled to have them here. They love hearing and sharing the kids' stories with them. They're all so unique and different in their own way. The 5 or 6 kids that came last year all had a different story, a different background, a different upbringing, how they got to the center, ways they're improving, you know, what they're looking for the future. So many great things that it's hard not to be a supporter of these great centers when you hear some of these stories, and it really, you know, so to speak, melts the heart of all the members here at St. Andrews when they do come, and I'm happy to be a supporter and part of the program for sure.
So you can tell that it's not just about tennis. Everybody gets a lot, that people here get education about what's going on there, and the kids get an education about the world all in one package.
Oh, for sure. I think there's no doubt that the word's getting out that it's not just about tennis at these Israel Tennis and Educational Centers. That's what the name, I think, is really going to promote, and I feel that you know, as years go by, there's no doubt that having education in the tennis center name will be fantastic for years to come. You know, it's so important for kids. When people hear just tennis, they're thrilled with that. But when you add in education, knowing that these kids are going to learn and grow and be mentored from a young age and be given an opportunity that they normally wouldn't be given, I think that really makes people want to give and be a part of an organization that is such the Israel Tennis and Educational Centers.
Good. Hillary, back to you. Well, I'm going to change the angle one after that, but this is the last official one.
Okay. I would tell someone who doesn't know anything about the Israel Tennis and Educational Centers that it's quite frankly a wonderful and amazing place to be and to visit and to be a supporter, and someone who, you know, wants to be involved in something wonderful with kids. It's hard not to love these centers. I would say from an educational standpoint, from a tennis standpoint, from a learning, growing up, being able to interact with young kids from different diverse backgrounds, it's all amazing. It's something that if you truly love kids and you truly want to be a giver to something that is so supportive in Israel of kids who wouldn't have that opportunity, then the Israel Tennis and Educational Centers is certainly something that you would want to be involved with and be a proud supporter.
Hold on, let's start that again.
Okay.
Go.
My name's Aaron Krickstein. I'm from Grosse Pointe, Michigan. I was fortunate enough to play on the professional tour for 13 years. This actually is a photo of the Longwood Cricket Club, a tournament that I won way back in 1984. It was my first big win as a 16-year-old. Meet Jimmy Arias and Jose Luis Clerc, who were both top 5 in the world. Picture shows grass. I actually won it on clay. But it was a big tournament for me, and it catapulted me into the top 15 at the world at the time. A couple old photos when I was young, back in the day, 17-year-old, when I was a Sponsored by Yonex for rackets. I just won the Seiko Super Tennis Tournament, beating Stefan Edberg, which got me to number 6 in the world way back in 1989. Also Technifiber racket strings I used, so that was another one of my sponsors. Again, I got long hair back then, looks good. This is one of my favorite matches that I ever competed in. 1983 US Open. Played Vitas Gerulaitis in the 3rd round in the grandstand court and beat him after coming back from 2 sets to love, 6-4 in the 5th. So that was actually my first big professional win, and I was only an amateur. And by winning this,
How old were you?
I was 16 years old.
Let me hold close. You could see this is a young man jumping up and down there. How old is Vitas?
Vitas was probably 30 plus, about 32, but he was ranked 15 in the world at the time. I was just the number 1 junior in the U.S., and I was just a 16-year-old, and I just won the 18 and under Kalamazoo championships, which got me a wild card into this tournament. So
well, let's talk about this match, because you start off and you're down 2 sets. Looks
I
like
was.
3-6, 3-6. You're not really in it, and then you turn the tables. Do you recall what happened that you could turn the tables on a seasoned veteran?
Yeah, it was kind of unusual. I had a lot of crowd support. I think being a 16-year-old and the young U.S. junior champion, the crowd slowly started getting behind me when I made a little bit of a comeback in the 3rd set. And once I won that 3rd set, they gave me the confidence and the excitement that maybe I could pull this match out. And I was fortunate enough to do so. And ironically, by winning this match, I lost to Yannick Noah in the 4th round. But I turned pro after this event and played my first tournament in Tel Aviv 2 months later, which I won. And that record still stands today of being the youngest player to ever win a professional tournament, 16 years and 2 months. So this match led to bigger and better things just a few months down the road at the Israel Tennis and Educational Center.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that little tour. There's some more recent pictures here to the right. But Aaron, thanks a lot for talking about the Israel Tennis Education Centers, and we look forward to having the tour come to visit you again soon.
Of course, thank you very much, and I'll always be a proud supporter of the Israel Tennis and Educational Centers. I've loved being a part of it, and I think they're wonderful centers and opportunities for young kids to grow up and not only learn the great sport of tennis, but to learn a lot of life's lessons and be mentored by some amazing professionals in Israel. And hopefully we'll have more exhibitions in the States so I can be part of those as well.